Kathy's not here, but this is something that's probably might be a little repetitive to some people, but I wanted to go over it again because I think it's, one of the most important things we do at the beginning of the year. And the great thing is that while I was gone last week, you guys kind of touched on, well, you didn't touch on, this was their subject, but I wanted to break it down a little bit more so we can, I know you guys talked about your goals, your yearly goals last week, right? What are your goals for this week? Right? So that's the start of, in my mind, that's the start of my goal setting for the year. So I start with my yearly goals, and then I want to make a 90-day plan going forward. And I'm going to be making 90-day plans from here on out, right? January, February, March, that's my first 90-day plan. Then the next one's 90 days, right? So in order to get to that, my 90-day plan, I want to start setting my daily goals. I'm going to share my screen here. And those of you who don't have this little sheet that I have, where is it? Where'd she go? Oh, I got to put it on my other screen. Hold on. Yeah, I got to put it on my other screen. Why isn't it there? My bad. Hold on. Hold fire. Okay. Now let me share. This guy right here. Okay, can you see that?
Yep.
Okay, so this is a spreadsheet that I use. And I know that when I was looking at it, I know that John, you have access, Sherry, you have access, and Kathy has access. I don't know if I can I just put that in the chat, John? Because it's a shared folder?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I gotta widen this. Let me do that.
Somehow we have to figure out how to enable our chat so that we can copy the links as text or whatever. All I can do is take screenshots of them, which is a lot of work. In other Zooms, we don't have to do that.
Okay, so in that case, that's why I was asking John that, because if that's the case, then you would get with me and I'll just share it with you individually. And same with
Peter, couldn't you just post it to our Skype chat?
Or even just share it with each one of us on the Google, but you'd have to have everybody's email to do that.
well, yeah, I can.
I mean,
share
the ones that already have it, or I could help. We could share it with those in our group that don't have it yet. Like I know John and Sharon and Kathy have it, but
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying is
If you put it in the chat and you click on the link, if he copies the link in his URL bar and pastes it into the chat and you click on it, on that link, it'll open in your browser. And then when you open that link, when you click on the link, it'll open in your browser on your computer.
cool. Thanks, John.
yeah, and like I said, if that's not working for you, because sometimes
You got it
know,
right. I can click on it, Peter.
yeah, but and if
Try it.
not, you've got a copy, I've got a copy, Sherry's got a copy, I know Kathy's got a copy too, and they can share it with everybody. So
It
You just have
says
to
you
Skype.
need permission. You can click on it, but it says you need permission.
Oh, you don't have it set for edit permissions, Peter.
Yeah, I've got a request sent where I
Yeah,
had to ask for permission too.
Yeah, can't open the file.
well, see, that's why you guys are walking me through this.
you can open it. You just can't edit it.
I can't even
No.
open it.
No, you can't open it. Says you need access.
Oh, it opened fine for me.
Yeah, but you already have it.
But you
Yeah.
have superpowers, John.
Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
I want one that's already filled in. I don't want a blank one.
Yeah, I know, right? So the other thing is that I want to make sure what I'm going to kind of just go over what I'm doing, right? So my daily goals could change daily. I mean, I don't want them to change daily, but sometimes things come up, and so I'll change my daily goals. And that's basically a weekly goal change that I do, right? And then maybe I have success one week and I want to change my goals for that next week. So I'll change my goals for the next week. In my mind, the weekly goals and the daily goals are always evolving and changing. And so I just want everybody to know that's how I look at it is, if I have an emergency that day, I'm not going to get my goals done. But that's okay. They just changed a little bit, right? I may be able to make that day up during the week. My daily goals have changed. My weekly goals haven't, but maybe I fell short of my weekly goals. That's fine too, right? Don't really put too much, got it. I don't put too much pressure on if I fall short a little bit. And I always, in the back of my mind, I'm always trying to figure out how to maybe get my weekly goals a little better. So they're always constantly changing. That's all I wanted to kind of go with that. So I'm trying to find.
Peter, if you share it with the instructors, you can have the instructors share it with their students.
Yeah, which I've already done.
Okay, so that would be the easiest way.
Yeah. So that's what I've done. I've shared it with you. I've shared it with Sherry. I haven't shared it with Julie yet.
I don't think I have
And
edit access
Kathy.
though, because you just sent me a few, I need edit access. That way I could do and save my own, right? I see you got Kathy and Sharon and John up there added for edit, but I don't see I have. So maybe Julie and you can fix that for us.
Well, you can copy it and then,
Yeah, you should be able to
edit your
copy it.
own.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, and that's actually probably the best way because I don't want.
Right.
If you don't copy it, then it's going to be changing every time someone
Yeah,
changes on that.
Right. Okay.
So we can just copy it and rename it, right?
right.
Right.
Okay, so then I'll get with just everybody that wants this, that doesn't already have it, because I think we went over this before, and I shared this that's when I shared it with you guys. So I'm gonna do Julie right now. Oh shoot, that's where I needed to do it. All right. Anyway,
Yep.
so that's that, and then just put in the chat if you want a copy, and then whoever's the instructor will send it out to them. So, and that's what I want to go over today. So I hope everybody understands the process that I do. And the other thing is that not everybody is going to have the same process as I do, right? I know, Irene, you're not going to work on Wednesday. That's not going to be part of your deal, right? Is it Wednesday? Yeah. So yours is going to be a little different than mine, but what I have in here is really simple, right? I have the calls that I make. That's the very first column. I put some stuff in there that totals everything up. So, and then just the simple stuff. And the other thing is that depending on what you're doing or what makes sense to you, you should be able to edit this after you make a copy to, I look at my emails in the morning as needed. I do my students as I fill up the, the appointment schedule. And then my PBS, this is just random numbers that I put in there just to show you that, maybe a really good idea to work for 2 hours on your PBS a day, if you're, every other day. Sundays are always a good day for me because I'm usually just working. That's why I've got 4 hours for the ads and 2 hours in here. And you know what? This was the sample I showed last time. So I guarantee you, well, I know they've all changed in the one that I use. So they've all changed, but you guys should be able to edit this to make it more sense to you, right? Your
Well, and
remarks.
also, Peter, different people are in different places. So in different places or in the process. So they're going to modify it to, even though they're going to still follow the same system, they're going to modify it according to the place that they're in. Like some have Google Ads and some don't. So, you know.
Yeah, and some aren't making phone calls right now. They're just doing their V-marketing, right?
Right.
So, so some don't have a bunch of students. But you know, the ads and the PBS and the V-marketing, that's kind of the sample I really wanted to put out there because that's easy.
Could I make a comment?
Yeah,
I find this too general for me, like V-marketing. That has several steps. It has the sending, it has the replies and all that. It's a two-step thing, sending them and receiving them. So when you say V-marketing, are you including both of those?
well, that's a great,
And like ads, are you doing the ad template? Are you actually posting the ad, or, you know, are you just getting ready to post? See, to me, those are separate actions and they all need time.
I think that you can fill it out or add to it, Irene.
that's
as
what
you
I'm gonna show
like.
you right here. So I just added a column and we're gonna go the marketing, oops, gotta get back on.
Do you
there.
include the SD leads in there too?
That's up at the very top.
Oh, sorry, can't read it for looking at it.
No. And this is a great question. This is kind of what I was trying to show you guys is that you can edit this and your first remarketing, you know, that would be your texts, right? And then the next column you could put
Replies or responses.
replies or follow-ups or whatever.
Uh-huh.
You know, reply. So you can edit this. Hopefully you can see what I just did there.
I can.
You can?
So we can really tailor it to our own way of doing stuff.
Yeah, and that's kind of the point I was trying to make. So I'm glad you brought that up because I obviously wasn't clear, is that this is just a template and mine changes all the time, right? Like I was saying, mine changes all the time. I'll add columns, I'll delete columns. It's really simple to do if you know how to run a spreadsheet. If not, I mean, all you do is click on that and right click it and it'll say, you know, insert one column above.
Right. Yeah, I know how to do that.
Yeah. And then
Well, let me ask you about the PBS. Now, when you do PBS, are you talking about making pages or doing research on the pages, getting your images ready?
see, you are
I think what we need to do is step back a moment. He's talking about big rocks. If you've
Yeah.
ever had any big study about, you know, big rocks, sand, pebbles, you know, if you put in all the little details, you're not going to ever get done. So he's talking about the big overview summary look here. And then, you know, as you use it, you can fill it in with the smaller detail.
Okay.
And plus that allows you flexibility. In this case, you just know that you're going to do V-marketing. You're going to do your emails and you need to allocate that time maybe at the start of the day. You know, what's that going to look like for you? What do you want to do that day in that area?
Well, that's my schedule now. The first thing I do when I sit down at the computer are my emails, Yahoo and Gmail. I do Skype and I do the Prime One chat. So to me, those are my 4 communication areas that I do first thing in the morning. I may not look at them again until the end of the day or until the next morning, you know, but at least when I get up in the morning, everything is taken care of. And then from there, I just wing it.
Right, and I think that's exactly the point Robert's bringing
Yeah,
up is that,
yeah.
hey, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna spend 2 hours on the PBS. Now, Rory just rolled out that new product, or Velveeta rolled out that new product.
Rock Post
Well,
Plus.
you know what? Then I'm gonna put a subcategory in there, like you said, Irene. I'm not going to, but you can work. Built the pose
Post page. Yeah,
page. But I just know I'm doing something with my PBS for
Okay.
a couple hours, and then I think that's a really good idea to keep track of what you're doing and what your momentum is by putting subheadings in there and just explaining, what you did spend your time on there. And that could be as simple as PBS explanation, right? So I could just write explanation in there. And then I can just,
Right.
that could be
put
a
plus in there or whatever.
yeah. And that's what I did. I posed,
Gotcha.
pose page. So
I'd like to share
Whatever.
something.
I think it's whatever works for you, you're gonna put down
Have
and
to
modify
change.
it to where it's going to work for you and you can see what kind of time you have and need. And, I had one at one point, it was very detailed. Unfortunately, it was so detailed. I don't know.
You can
It's
keep
sort
up
of,
with it.
yeah, it's sort of overwhelmed me, but
Mhm.
somewhere between that and this, that's sort of like just the big picture. I need to come to a happy medium,
Yeah.
for
Okay,
me.
so this is the big picture. This is what we need to be looking at.
Yes,
The main categories, I guess, like the
Yeah.
marketing, PBS, ads,
Yeah.
and the one-on-one boards.
yeah, and I like the way that this is going because Robert brings up that great idea is that, this is just
Big
the
rocks.
template, the big ones, but Irene likes to break them down into smaller ones,
Yes.
which is a good idea. But here's the thing is I don't necessarily do that. And maybe I should, but it's how you want to treat this little weekly, daily schedule. And the big picture is we want to, in order to get to our 90-day plan and our yearly goals, that's kind of what I wanted to bring up today, is that we got to make sure that we're at least, we got a game plan to get to our 90-day goals and our yearly goals. And
Well,
without this sheet, it's kind of difficult because you're running in the wind, right?
Mhm.
Well, I don't
I'd
know.
like to share something if I could.
It's a good starting place, but for me, I think I make things too detailed. I need to get out of that. I need to say, like you did PBS. So I need to sit here and do something toward PBS for 2 hours, not necessarily what's coming up or I just need to work. Even if I work on my menu, if I work on editing a page,
Writing
things like that.
pages or anything, yeah.
yeah, just 2 hours. It doesn't matter what I do.
Robert, wanted to say something?
Yeah, I something that has been really helpful because it's been taught to me by a business trainer is using a daily planner. So you're taking the day and all the things that you have planned or you want to put in for that day, you put in on, one half of the planner. Then as you go through the day, every hour or so, you just stop and write down on the other side next to it, what were the distractions or what did you actually do that day?
Oh,
Mhm.
So now that gives you
Oh,
a
now
review at
that's-
the end of the day of, did I accomplish what I was planning to? And if not, then, okay, does it transfer to the next day or what's come up? But that way you have a little better record. As I think it was Irene said earlier, you do all the things that you have planned in the morning and then it's just whatever. Well,
yeah.
it's the whatever that tends, I know for me, I get off on rabbit trails and pretty soon it's like, what happened to the day?
Exactly. Exactly,
you
Robert.
get
That's
off
what
on
I
a rabbit
do.
trail and before you know it, you're 10 o'clock in the morning, turns up to 6 o'clock in the evening and you're still on that rabbit
And you
trail.
haven't gotten anything
And nothing got
accomplished.
accomplished. Exactly.
Probably more frustrated.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
Because
we've
the
all-
rabbit trail is now turned into a lake.
when we've all done it, especially at the beginning, you know, because there's so much information here that you just, next thing you know, like John said, you know, you've done nothing and it's 6 o'clock at night. But, and I like what Irene said is that you keep that PBS there for 2 hours and then you just have another one that's a little explanation on it.
As to what you did.
Yeah, that, and I know you, Irene, I know you want that information on
Mhm.
that spreadsheet. So,
That's how
That's how I
she
keep up with
processes
me.
things.
yeah,
That's how
This is
she
another-
processes everything.
This is a critical tool.
What is that?
That's a timer.
It's a timer.
Oh, thank you. I couldn't see.
Well, now, my
1 hour,
goodness.
I'm going to work on this project.
Awesome.
When
Yep.
it's done, I'm done with that project for this time. And now I go to the next thing.
Yeah,
Moving
Well,
on.
Robert,
I-
you're just too smart.
I aggravate Sharon to death because my phone has like 8 alarms set during the day. It's constantly going off with this god awful rooster sound.
Mine too.
And Sharon's just that darn rooster. I'm going to kill it one day. Now, Stanley, you have a question, Stanley. Go
Got to
ahead.
unmute.
Got to unmute. There you go.
Well, I wish this mouse would cooperate with me. It's nice to see that everybody is suffering from the same stuff that I do.
Yep.
Yeah, we all have the same frustrations and things that come along. So we all have rabbit holes, whether they go to the lake or they go to the nap or wherever they go.
They end up on top of a mountain frozen to
Yeah,
death.
right. Oh, mercy.
Mm, dear.
But you know, I like that timer thing. I mentioned last time, a friend of mine who's a manager in a fairly high place anyway, is always telling me that, you know, she doesn't, even though I've always been taught, you know, you're going to follow something
There
through
you go,
to the end.
Stanley.
You're going to follow it through to the end. But, you know, if that timer goes off and you're not done with it, you move on to the next thing and then you
Yep.
come back with it and you can be much more efficient that way.
Yep.
And that's what she was trying to teach me. So that sounds similar.
Yep.
Huh.
If you
And,
keep
you
trying
know,
to
that
push
may not
through it,
work.
man.
that may
Yeah.
not work for everybody also, right? So for me, I'll just keep looking at the timer. And so I get a project done and then I move to the next one.
Peter, here's what you need to do. Turn the timer around. Turn
So
it
you can't see
around
it?
and so you can't see it, or put it in a drawer. That way you can't see it, but when you hear it go off, you stop and move to the next thing.
Well, yeah, I like it, but that's
But if
not
you
for me.
finish something first, you can always move forward. I mean,
Yep,
Exactly.
that's not for me.
time's up.
I gotta finish it. That's what I have to do.
My
So,
OCD will kick in if I'm on something and I need
don't
to
finish
get
it.
it done. I
have the
I
same
have
problem.
to.
I had the same
So-
problem, but I've had to learn to bite my nails and turn the timer off and just move forward anyway.
Me
Well,
too.
I don't
And
know.
it
I
drives
thought-
it
moving
drives me
forward.
crazy, but if you don't move forward, you never get anything done.
Exactly.
You only get that one thing done in that day, and it's a waste of a day because you've got so much more you need to get done.
moving forward before you accomplish that one objective to me was just, you know, that was just out of the question. But I'm trying to learn
Yeah.
it because when you've got so many multiple tasks to do, it can be very effective.
Yeah.
It also helps you focus your time. If you were working a regular job, you know, you have a 4 hour before your lunch break and then another 4 hours before your end of day. So
Right.
you know you have to be productive during that time. So when you have time limits on it, I know for me, it tends to help push me and stay focused during that time. When the timer goes off, then I'll take a break or futz around till I start again.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
you know, and the other thing is sometimes I'll be working, let's just say that on the PBS for those 2 hours that I have allotted, and an hour goes by and I just don't think, I can't, there's nothing else I want to do on my PBS, right? Not that at this point in time, there isn't anything to do because we have so much, but it's happened to me in the past where I got the page done I wanted. I thought it'd take 2 hours. It only took an hour. I should probably put a miscellaneous on here where I could just pick up another task and spend that last hour on, or maybe take a 15-minute break and then spend 45 minutes on doing some ads or doing something else. I'm
Or
just throwing stuff out there because like I said, mine changes all the time, right? Because if I just couldn't get to my PBS every 4 days a week for 2 hours, maybe I'll just cut that down to 3 days a week, or maybe I'll bump it up because we have so much to do.
Well, you could
Sorry to
always,
bring that up.
there's another option also. You could always go back and start checking links.
Yeah, that's yeah, yep,
The broken link
There's
share.
always maintenance you can do on your site.
yeah, yep. That's a good point. That's a good point. Yep.
And that might be a great thing for having like a monthly calendar, for, things you might do once a month, check links and whatever it is else
Yeah.
you've determined needs to be, at least checked once a month. To
Right,
get that on there, so you have your list of to-dos, as it were.
right.
Absolutely. And then, in addition to that monthly calendar, I like, well, they talk about breaking it down and, whether you start with your annual goal and then you break it down to your 90-day plan, like Pete was talking about, but then you break it down to your monthly plan and then weekly and then daily, so you have, and whether you do it that way or the other way, other direction, that way you're leading to your goal. You have a roadmap to it, as they say, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and however that works for you, whether it's, for some people, it may be daily, weekly, and then right into your 90-day plan, or it may be your daily, weekly, monthly that
Mhm.
gets you to your 90-day plan.
Right.
Whatever works for you best is the way you want to go, because, you could break it down to every second of every day, what you're going to do. And that's just a ton of work. Every minute of every day. I try to stay away from that because I know it's going to change. And I just don't want to spend all that time. It's like checking your ads to see if, how many times they've been clicked, and they always say, don't waste your time doing that, but don't sweat the small stuff, but keep doing what you're doing. Kind of in my mind, it's the same thing. If you're too detailed, you're wasting some time. If you're not detailed enough, you're wasting some time too. Whatever works
Mhm.
best for you. So
Okay, I
happy
have-
medium, like Sherry said, right? You got to have that medium.
I'd
Yeah.
like to ask another question.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Social media, where does it fall in this?
Wherever
Ads.
you want it.
Wherever you want it. Yeah.
It's part of our ad campaign, if you
Yep.
will.
It is.
It's an
Social
important
media
part.
is
It's not
ads,
where we
okay.
start. It's something that we should include as soon as we can. But we don't have to include immediately. But it is an important part of our ad campaign because
Yep.
it's a good way to share stuff.
Well, I know
Everything-
they're saying you should post like 2 or 3 times a week. And, I may look at Facebook once a month, and I'm trying to do better. So I guess I'm looking for guidelines. Is once a day or once a week sufficient?
It depends upon what you're doing that once a day, Irene,
Yeah.
because you want to establish a presence. You want to get on there and like things or comment on people or comment on things, to show people that you're really there and not just be there to put an ad in.
Yeah.
And so when you do put an ad in, I'm going to suggest, you no more than 2 or 3 a week in different avenues.
Right.
And that way they get to trust you, they get to know you. And that's where I have a problem, because when I get on there, it's like I can't get off. So
I know
have-
it. And that's what bugs me to pieces,
I have to work on that, to
You
where I'm,
have to learn to set limits.
because
yes,
there's so much.
yes.
It's
Yeah,
just.
you can get lost on Facebook and on social media. If you're not careful, you can get lost on it. You
right.
have to
Well,
set
now,
a
if you-
timer and set a time limit on it too.
You don't want
have
to do it
to.
like you do your classified ads, because I tend to just
No.
stick with the ads in there And, you don't have to establish, that much, but again, they too get used to seeing things and they may have to see them for a while from you before they trust enough to bite.
Yep.
Yeah, and that brings up another good point, is that some people are just not, let's say, very good or very knowledgeable about the social media aspect. So the time, so that's my point about how this can be, growing and morphing into different things. Once you get better at the social media, then you could put a whole thing in there, Irene, below ads that's just social media, or even Facebook and then Instagram, or however you want to do it. But as you're learning, you're probably either going to be spending a lot more time or not as much time until we have different trainings that help explain, how it actually works, right?
Yep.
'Cause Sherry almost went into a whole different spiel about how it all works, but that's probably better for a whole hour.
Yeah.
With John and Sharon and Sherry sharing how they do their social media.
Oh,
And then-
John and Sharon, not Sherry.
Well, people in the know, and you all know it's not me, so that's not going to be me. But then we can, once we start getting better at that social media, then start adding things in there that actually say social media. Does that make sense, Irene? I mean,
Well, it does and it doesn't. For someone who's not a social person, or at least on social media, it's kind of hard for me to tell people about myself,
Well, you don't have to tell people about yourself. You can go on and you can post pictures of things you like.
Or
Just say-
recipes.
Or recipes. You can take a picture of the sunset outside your house and say, what
Or
a
your
beautiful
dog or cat.
sunset today.
well, that's what
Or your
everybody else
dog or your
does.
cat or something. Yeah,
I
exactly.
resemble that
Yeah,
remark.
you do. All you have to do though is you do that every couple days or so, and you get used to doing it, and then you have a social media presence. Then when you throw an ad in there, people don't think much about it. Oh,
Okay.
it's Irene. She's on here. She put an ad out. Let's check it out.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you
And
just
you know
get
what?
used to doing that.
Robert's
it a habit.
idea. Robert's idea with the timer, because I'm sort of like Irene, I get in there and I get lost. I can't get out.
Yeah,
It's so much. So I think that timer might work the best for me with social media.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I was saying. If you
When it
use a
goes off, I'm
timer,
out of there. Yeah.
Amen.
yeah, if you set a timer on your social media, so you time yourself to 15, 20, 30 minutes on
Exactly.
social media, looking at ads and liking stuff so
Yep.
that you make and just scroll down the page and then like stuff. And then just zip your mouse and scroll down the page and like some stuff. Don't look at everything. Just zip it down a few
Right.
beats and then like some stuff and skip some stuff and like some stuff. Don't even look at everything. Just like hit your mouse, the scroll button on your mouse and just zip it and skip some stuff and just like some stuff and do it like that.
put
And
the
then
pictures.
love it.
yeah, and then you've gone down you covered some area
Mhm.
and then you spent 30 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes on there, but you covered probably
that's
100 ads,
I got
100
you.
posts.
If you do get lost, you hear that beeper go off or a buzzer or whatever it is.
Just
on the
stop.
Timer and, oh, I was lost in this. I've got to move on.
Exactly.
Time to quit.
Exactly. Exactly.
I love
Just
that,
get out
Robert.
and
I'm
be
gonna get me
done.
One of those.
Okay,
There's another thing that you could try. If you're familiar with buffer.com,
Mhm.
the
No.
free version,
Uh-huh.
what you can do is you can put something every day of the week for it to go out on your social media
Yep.
by itself.
really?
Yeah.
I
can.
do it for my Facebook, my Instagram, or no, Twitter,
Twitter.
and
Well, I'll be
LinkedIn.
darned. You're
Okay.
kidding, Julie.
And
No, she's
and
not
you
kidding.
can only do 3 unless you paid, and you have to
Right.
pay more. But Monday you could say something about personal.
Right.
Tuesday you can put in an ad.
Right.
Wednesday put another personal in. Thursday put an ad. So you can go back and forth that way and just you can just do your whole week and not worry about it. and-
Exactly.
And just
Great
do three
idea,
each
Julie.
day.
I
But
did
Just do
not.
still-
three each day.
Right, but still, still go in and like people's posts and things
Yes.
like that.
But I
But
don't
to
have to worry
have
about me
everything-
coming up with something.
Right.
Don't have you lay out your whole week. That's one thing I do like about Buffer.
Buffer.
Mhm.
Wonderful. I'll start using it. I didn't
Yes,
know that.
PUFFER.com.
I also had a plan. And it was on Mondays, it's kind of a motivational idea. So I'd find a motivational picture or
Uh-huh.
or quote, meme. Tuesday, I would put some kind of product on there. Wednesday was do it yourself. So I might have a
DIY project.
do
Yeah.
She's
yeah,
a
a
crafts.
video on how to do something. Thursday was a product. Friday was humorous.
Great. I like that too.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
Those are all
you
good
can plan
ideas.
that out.
And
I
I do
see,
my
yeah.
sunrises and sunset, Irene. They just don't like that. I do my cats,
Yes,
I've
yes.
done my snow. Now, the only
Yeah.
thing that this agenda is not having, where do I have to put in my snow removal? Or dig myself out, you know?
Good luck with that.
No, when I see there, she knew about Buffer all this time and she kept it to herself.
She
Shame
just
on
shared
me.
it. No, wait a minute. She just shared it with us. That's not shame on you.
And it's probably
So how long has she been doing it?
It doesn't matter.
everybody else.
How long
knew
has
about
Sheridan
it.
and I been doing social media?
Thank you.
Is it
Julie.
shame on
I
us
appreciate
too?
that.
Thank you for that tip, Julie. I will
Oh,
definitely.
yeah, that's wonderful. Because I didn't know we could do that.
If you need it, any, whatever, you can reach out to us, or if you're not quite sure, but yeah, that's one way of doing it, especially if you're not used to social media.
I'm
Yeah.
not.
Because
Awesome.
you want to be on it. Now, what
Yep.
I post on the 3 that I do, you can't do Instagram on Buffer. You have to pay to be able to use Instagram.
Oh, okay.
But I'll
Mhm.
pull up my Instagram on my computer and I'll put the same ad on my Instagram that I do
Okay.
on those.
Cool.
I got you.
So,
Yeah.
and I'll open up other things as well if I need to add it.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, you
Yeah.
guys are
But
full
this-
of great
but this
ideas.
way-
Mary's idea, I like that too.
I
And,
do
It's
too.
something every day. I don't usually do a lot on myself except my weather, my scenery, my
Well, that's an
cats.
interesting topic.
Yeah.
Because most of us can't imagine weather like you're having. I
No.
can't.
Yeah, well, they all know. They're all waiting for me to send a calendar with all those pictures I have done.
Yeah.
I'll do it eventually, but
Well, I like this. I think we do a whole hour of training on Buffer and going through some other stuff on posting here real quick on our Thursday meeting, where we can spend a whole hour and maybe do some screen shares on how you do Buffer and so on and so forth. And
Yeah.
I think that would be very helpful to a lot of people here.
It
So
would to me, because
That
like I say,
works.
social media is just not my thing and I've got to do it. So.
Yep.
yeah, we
You're
gotta
a
make it.
social
a thing.
person?
Yep.
Irene, it should be a piece of cake for you because you're so social.
Yeah,
Oh.
really.
I
Yes,
don't know
you
about
are.
that.
All those times we've been on Zoom together and talked on the phone and everything, you're a social bee.
Well, I didn't say I was shy.
Okay then. No, I'm the shy one, but look at me.
You know,
Oh, look at you.
Sherry's like, oh boy, get away from Sharon before she gets struck by lightning, right?
and the other thing on the social, if you're friends with the person or whatever, do like their posts, do
Mhm.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
comment if you wish. If they post their website, click on it and go to their website because it helps build traffic as well.
Yep.
Right.
But it's just kind of a nice thing, and plus that'll keep you in their news feed, because I
Yep.
don't always get everybody because I have a lot of followers, you know,
Yep.
Mary's popped up on my news feed today, which was kind of cool. So I made sure I at least liked it and stuff, so I can start seeing more of her posts,
Yeah.
you know, and stuff. So
Okay.
that just helps us out wherever you see it, whether it's posting ad sites or whatever. That's how
Interact
we can
and
help each
engage.
other out.
Engage.
That-
Yeah.
That's one of my goals for the next 90 days is to do social media.
Engaging is.
I can help you, Irene.
Okay, I hear you. That's fair play.
Help me with Google AdSense and I'll help you with Facebook.
Sounds like a
deal to
plan.
me.
Yep.
Well, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I think we should, like, maybe next time we'll do a whole social media, because what happens is I'm hearing things from Julie Lundeen and from John and from Sherry that I really don't do enough of. And so when everybody gets together like this and we all share how we use it, you know, we can pick and choose what fits best for our style of Facebook. You know, I know you need to like and share. Everybody should know that at this
Yeah, I
point.
knew that.
We do a whole hour of maybe, you know, a buffer training and then a little bit of Facebook stuff, and then we can just have a big, long discussion and make sure everybody kind of getting a little further ahead. I think that's what we probably should do next Thursday. Hopefully Sharon will be feeling good so she can pop in here too. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
because
that would be great because I would also like to learn how to advertise on Facebook.
Yeah.
I
That's
think that's a
know?
very critical training that we need to do, because we don't want to bombard it. And I would want to wait for a training before
Oh,
we
yeah.
suggest that you go start posting ads right now.
yeah, and that's not just a one session training.
Right.
Right,
Yeah,
but we can get it started, right? We can get it all
Yeah, we
started.
can get it started. We can
Robert,
get
you
it
have a
started.
question?
Yeah, regarding your social media, since you're all experts on this, that
Me.
are you using your own personal account to do all this advertising and stuff? Or are you using a business like Facebook account that, you know, you can keep things specific to business and that?
Well,
I'm
isolated
using
from
my
personal?
personal. You can do both.
I have a business page, which is the
Yeah.
same as my website. I've had that for quite a long time. But
Yeah.
everything that I post that goes on that page also shows on my news feed. So I
Which
can.
is from
call-
where?
I can-
Where's
I
the
can
news
say-
feed?
Your regular Facebook page,
Right.
Oh,
your
okay.
personal
Now,
one.
when
Whatever I post there goes on my personal one.
when we do the training for the Facebook ads and stuff and running the ads, you guys will be creating a business account.
Well, I did that and I've screwed my Facebook up so bad, I don't even know which end's up from.
Join the crowd, Kathy. Me
I
too.
know.
So we need another one. We need
I
another
have
one of
got-
those trainings.
I started another Facebook one to do a business one, and now I've messed it all up. So
Yeah, I tried to do that from Andy Perriman's training. And I've got 2 business pages that they don't go together.
Well, you don't
I
have
don't know what
to.
to do. I'm not doing anything with them right now.
And
Well,
so
I
is
have,
that
I have
your-
one, I actually have 2 business one. The one is strictly wine, but I don't ask for followers. I'm doing the organic search. Let people do
Yeah.
the organic search on it. I was doing that as a test thing, and that happened way back when Sharon was talking and she was showing some of those. And I go, you know, something, I think I just want to see how that goes. You know, so, but
know that.
anything
Yeah.
up as far as the PBS, that all goes on my, you know, offer pages.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Good,
Well,
Robert. what were
Sharon
you gonna-
just told me to hold back on the business page part of it, so
Yeah.
I would too.
she's got a different. She's saying something different now. So
Yeah, and we'll just start a whole little series on training with
yeah,
this.
we'll
It sounds
will.
like this is where everybody's interested.
Yeah, we
Well,
will.
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
my
Robert.
other part was, you know, because on our website, we can put in, you know, the social media links. But I
Yes.
wasn't wanting to put in my personal ones So that's what I was, how do we do that?
You can put your personal one in for now, for your personal
No,
page.
I don't think so.
But,
I've already gotten hacked. I had to uninstall Messenger.
Yeah, you don't have to put your
Yeah,
personal.
no.
on
you
there.
don't have to, you
just-
can you don't have to
You
put
can just
anyone
wait till
there.
you change,
But
know.
you can wait till
Yeah.
you change, yeah. You're right, Julie. On that.
Yeah, I
Okay.
wouldn't do it either. Because you don't want. I don't know, I guess there's pros and cons, whether you want them to know who you are or not who you are.
Yeah,
And then if you have somebody with the same name who jumps into your account and hacks it, that's even worse.
Yeah,
Yes,
there's
it
a lot of
is.
hackers. And
That's
that's
what
why
there
you
is a lot of
need.
hackers.
That's why
Yeah,
you need to change your passwords at least every 3 months
At
on
least.
everything.
Oh, my.
well, Julie,
Everything.
password.
That's why Roboform is great.
3 months.
Exactly.
Yes,
See,
you
nobody
have
ever
to.
said that to me before.
And
Okay.
it has to be more than 8 characters, not 3 or 4.
Yeah, but well, most programs now are a minimum of 8
Capitals,
characters.
symbols, numbers.
There's letters, both lower and uppercase, yep.
Yeah.
everything.
Okay. Okay, another good tip.
It's a
Okay.
pain in the rumps, but you need to do it.
No, not with RoboForm, it's not.
I know Roboform is excellent.
They just do
And
it
it
wrong.
And I would put in my notes in Roboform
Uh-huh.
that I changed my password from this to this on this date. That way, when I go back to doing a new one, I make sure I'm not.
You know what you've
Duplicating.
done. So
Yeah.
smart. See, I wouldn't have
Yep.
thought of that.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Because you can
Julie.
put a lot of notes in there. Your PIN number, whatever you need to know for that website, you can put in that notes for
Yep,
your eyes only.
yep,
Never paid attention to it, but I will now.
Good.
yep. Oh, it's a good tool.
Well, this has been great.
This
I
is
think we're
great.
coming up
Yeah.
on Training time.
I feel like I got personal attention.
Yep.
You know, and
Alrighty.
it's amazing
so
how
good.
much, by sharing, how much we all learn.
It is.
Yes,
uh,
it is.
I want to find a timer for myself so I can go out and start doing that.
Yep.
Robert, where'd you get your timer? Can I find
Yeah.
one at Walmart?
They have
Yes, you
software.
can.
Oh, yeah, Walmart, Kroger.
Okay.
They
grocery
have
stores.
software
Target.
that you can put on your
Fred
computer.
Meyers.
Yep, they do.
Software.
And
Yeah.
it's a
I-
timer.
Well,
Ah.
I'm on a waitness program, which is my timer, and it tells me every 2.5 hours that I have to do something.
Cool.
And so it's simple. Oh, you can't see.
You have to do
Yeah.
that on your phone.
Yeah, and so it tells me, oh, 10 minutes to eating time, or your case, it'd be 10 minutes to, because that's the thing is I have to have something every 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So that could be a switchover point of what I'm doing.
Right.
Yep. Yep.
Sherry, honey, I'll show you how to put all those alarms on my phone that go off every time I'm on it. So,
Yeah,
Okay.
mine are like that. I've got like 12 alarms on mine, 8 or
oh, I do
12 or something
too.
like
I've
that.
got a ton
Well, I
of them.
know how
They
to
go
set
off all the
timer.
time.
It's just, I thought that little timer was such a good idea. I don't know. I'm old school, okay?
Yeah.
But that ringing and that separate thing would just shock me into moving. Shock me into out of my hypnotic state.
Hey, Sherry,
Do something
trust me.
else.
If you heard the alarm on my phone, you'd move.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
mine sounds like a rooster and it's
Mine-
loud.
Yeah, mine sounds like a train horn. So, I mean, it's
Yeah.
loud and you can
Yeah.
hear it everywhere. And I set 2 alarms for every appointment I have. I have 2 reminder alarms before it happens. So,
Yeah, mine's
Sound
like
me. I
that.
have to have 2 alarms for everything.
Sharon
Yeah.
keeps telling me she's gonna kill that rooster one day.
yeah, I need a head start for everything. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Me too.
All right, guys. Well, it's
I know.
5 minutes till the next meeting starts, so we need to wind this down. We
Okay,
need
I
we need to
think-
give
I think,
everybody
uh,
we need to give everybody a break so they can go to the bathroom and do all their good stuff.
I think Niall's going to be going over just some basic getting started stuff from what I heard in the MSI chat. Is that right, Pete?
I was on a call until right before we jumped on this one, so I wasn't checking.
I think that's what he said. Andy asked him and he said he's gonna go over some basics, you know, getting started stuff. So it may be repetitious for some, but it may be really good for others. And we always need to, you know, I always learn something. So
Okay,
The big one on
Thank you, everybody.
Saturday, is there anything for just the students on Saturday? Or is it
yes,
all instructor after 10 o'clock
Okay.
or whatever?
I think he wants everybody, okay, at 2 o'clock, he's gonna start
2
covering the new thing.
Yep.
The new thing, 2 o'clock Eastern, Robert, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
2
2 o'clock Eastern.
He's
Which
gonna
would be
start
11
covering the new
o'clock.
thing, which will give us between 1 and 2 Eastern to have lunch or something, because we go from, we start at 11 and with the PBS training and then the wine ambassador training, and then we'll have a break. And then he's gonna go into, and I think that's for everybody.
I'll
Yeah,
post
it
it,
is.
I'll post it in our chat, because it's in the MSI, so I'll post everything in the Skype chat, so.
So don't miss that. That's gonna be great.
Yeah, it
Okay.
is.
All right,
You guys
everybody.
are gonna like that.
I'm gonna be snowed in, so no problem.
Yeah,
All right, guys.
bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Y'all have a good
So,
night.
have a good week.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.